Hey Miss Brosco, this is Noah. Um, yeah, I'm making a roller coaster using a computer game. It's called Planet Coaster, but it's a theme park simulation tycoon kind of thing. But it's really cool. So basically, besides making roller coasters, the game actually goes into depth about like the roller coasters themselves. So you can provide stats the game provides stats, like it shows you the G's on the passengers in the roller coaster. So yeah, I asked you if I could use this thing to make the roller coaster, the project, and you said yeah, go for it. And so that's what I'm doing here. So this video is it's pre-recorded and edited. I edited it myself. Uh, and yeah, I'm going to basically build a roller coaster. It's going to have it's going to be a full roller coaster because in this game, roller coasters that aren't finished don't work. So yeah, it's going to be a full roller coaster. It's going to have a hill with a regular angle, like a constant angle of degree at the bottom, and then a constant what's slope. That's the term, not well. You know what I was trying to say. It's going to have a constant slope at the bottom of the first hill, a constant slope over the top of the second hill, and a loop. And I'm going to show you all of the G-forces acting on the roller coaster and on the would-be passengers at the times the roller coaster goes over the hills or over the loops. And yeah, hope you enjoy this project of mine. This first section is just going to be trying to figure out which kind of roller coaster would be the best in this scenario. Because a while ago they had. I was initially going to build a wooden roller coaster because a while ago one of the wooden coasters you could actually make upside down, but I guess they removed that. Um, but yeah, this first few portion is just me trying to decide which coaster I'm going to make. I'll fast forward the whole part or cut it out, all the parts you don't need to see, and I'll get to the interesting parts for you. Yeah, alright. Alright, so this next portion is actually when I pull off one of the cheats. So for this project, I'm assuming that most of the other students are just going to make friction negligible. That's the word, negligible. Just you're going to ignore it. So this game actually comes with a few different cheat codes that you can pull off by either renaming like shops that you put in your park or even renaming people, which yes, you can do. There are certain names and words you can rename shops and people to that are actually cheat codes that will turn to or cause different effects to happen in your game. So I can actually turn off friction with one of these cheat codes. So yeah, when you see me renaming a person there, which that is what it was, me renaming a person. That's actually me trying to apply one of the cheat codes to try to remove friction. It was actually the wrong cheat code. It actually didn't remove friction. I'll tell you about that later. But I do put in the right cheat code, and I do this right eventually. But I only realize it after the roller coaster is built. Um, but yeah, more fast forwarding time. Okay, so hi Miss Brosco, I'm back again. So this next part is uh, I'm actually going to in this recording show you going more into detail about how the roller coaster um, or how this game is focuses around the realism. So as you could see, I'm riding for this roller coaster. Um, but yeah, if you see, oh my goodness, if you can see off to the side of the screen, it actually shows live statistics, live data of the roller coaster right there as you ride it uh, during this test run. So like I said earlier, friction hasn't been removed. What that earlier cheat code was I actually just brought friction down from 100% to 30%. Friction is now just at 30% of normal friction. It's basically negligible, but I do turn it off, like I say, afterwards. But anyways, if you look at the stats, it shows you it gives you like like the thrill statistics that people would be focusing on if they want to ride this roller coaster, like excitement, fear, and nausea. It also shows us speed. as well as the g-forces down there, the last three lateral g-forces, vertical g-forces, and forward g-forces. I'm going to be focusing mostly on the forward g-forces and vertical g-forces, as that can be easily translated into the centripetal force and centripetal acceleration kind of thing. The speed also has to do with it. Actually, forward g-force has nothing to do with it. It's only speed and vertical g-force. But yeah, when this coaster is like finished, and I turn off friction and stuff, I'll go over that whole thing with you. This game also provides heat maps of roller coasters, so you can set a heat map to show you different thing, like variations in the excitement statistic, or variations in speed, or variations in the lateral g-force, or variations in forward g-force. What the heat map does is it basically traces the track and then shows you like the certain distance increments, and then it shows you like whatever you select to show for that heat map after that increment. So like I select vertical G's as to be shown as a heat map. As the coaster goes, it traces along the track and shows me every so often the vertical G forces that are being put onto the would-be passengers at that time as it goes over the track. So yeah, I can use this to help me describe, centripetal force and centripetal acceleration for the first hill, and then the loop, and then the next hill, because the main focus of this project is around the first drop, and then the loop, and then the hill, because that's what you asked for in the Schoology post, to focus around the drop, the loop, and the hill. And so that's what I'm going to be focusing around just for this project when discussing vertical G's. Like I said, I'll show you when the whole thing is said and done later, and talk about it in more detail when this thing is all done. But yeah, so the next thing when I talk to you is, I'm pretty sure, or what, I'm going to be fast forwarding again for this next section again. The next time I'm going to be speaking at, and this video is going to be the next time the video is going to be at normal speed, and I'm going to be speaking with you again, is I believe when I turn off friction completely. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be like the next major thing, and then onto that is the more in-depth analysis of the G's for the first few parts of the roller coaster. So yeah. Hey, Miss Brasco. So I lied that last part, I guess. So I'm going to be talking to you about what I'm doing in this little segment of the video right here. So what I'm doing is I'm actually coloring the different parts of the roller coaster track. Yes, you can color roller coasters. Wow, you can have a roller coaster that's green? Yes. The reason I'm color coding this roller coaster is, well, the reason I'm coloring this roller coaster is because I'm going to color code the parts of the roller coaster in question in regards to the focus around the project. So for like the top of this hill, because of centripetal force inwards as well as outwards, and acceleration inwards and stuff like that, I'm highlighting the top of the hill. I'm also going to be highlighting the bottom of the hills before and after the loop-de-loop. And then I'm also going to be highlighting the hill right at the tippity top of the very first hill. So I'm doing this because these are just the parts that the project is more focusing around, because that's all that you asked for in the Schoology post, to focus on the centripetal stuffs around the loop and the hill and the drop. So yeah, this is just kind of for organizational purposes for myself mostly. I'm doing this to help me better. What's it called? Help me better. Explain, I guess. The color-coded parts are also each one of the different colors symbolizes either it's like you're going down, like you're going up over a hill and about to go down, or you're at the bottom of a hill and you're about to go up again, or if it's the loop itself. So the all the colored portions that are like the same color too, like all the individual sections, like the top of the hill, is the it has the same degree, I guess. It has the same angle of depression throughout the whole segment of the colored colored sections. That's what so it has the same like radius, radius of force radius. I forget what that term is called, but if you're like, you know, to turn that whole thing using the colored section into a circle and make the radius, and then that's the centripetal force. You remember what I'm talking about. I'm too lazy to go look it up. But yeah, those colors for the hills, for the most part, not the loop, but just for the hills, symbolize that those sections are of the same angle of depression or ascension, I believe is the right term for that opposite. But yeah, that's, again, just for organizational purposes for me, and to show that they are the same for that section of track. Alright, so this is the part where I remove friction. So after this is the part where I go into detail, showing you, pausing the game where the roller coasters at the different spots around the track, upside down on the loop, at the bottom of the loop, at the top of the hills, or the bottom of the hills, and all those jazzy fun places, and I show you the vertical g-forces that are being acted upon the people, and convert them, I guess, for you into newtons, but there's, I mean, 1 g-force is 9.8 newtons, but like, I'll figure it out. But yeah, friction is off, and we can get to the deeper analysis now. Alright, Miss Brusco, so now is the fun stuff. So you can see that at the very beginning, the roller coaster dips down into the ground. That's just so I could get the elevation, or the height of the roller coaster track to exactly 0 feet above the ground for this first little part. I did that because I wanted to get an exact height on the very first hill. So from 0 in the ground to the very tippity top of the first hill is exactly 105 feet. So this first hill is exactly 105 feet from the bottom and all the way back down. So at the very tippity top of the hill is going to be our first main focus spot, if that makes sense. So the roller coaster moves at 10 miles per hour all the way up the chain lift, and at the very top, before it starts accelerating down, it's going to be at around 0.86 g-forces, and it's, again, moving at 10 miles an hour, constant speed 10 miles an hour all the way up. At this point, it's going to start coming back down, so we were at 86, now we're down to 81 at this point right now, because I have a little semi-steep drop down right there that's different from the rest. Anyways, back down the hill, the next major point is going to be at the very bottom of this first hill. I believe it's going to be moving at 59 miles an hour. Am I recording just to catch up? Yeah, okay, so 59 miles an hour. It's going to be moving at the vertical G's is going to be 3.10 G's into your seat.
Rotopian said thank you Richard Dick Milhouse Nixon for letting us know about this cool AP.
I don't know what that was. That was actually a message from I actually have a messaging software on my computer. That was one of my friends talking, but that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't know what that was. Anyways, speed is 59 miles an hour, so the top speed it's going to get is 59 miles an hour, and it's always going to be 59 miles an hour when it's at elevation 0 because of 0 friction, and it's going to be, I believe it said 3.10. So that was, again, the bottom of the hill, but that little divot also goes into the first loop-de-loop we have right here. At the top of the loop, it's going to be moving, let's focus on the speeds here, at the very top, right there, roughly 28 miles an hour, and the vertical g-forces into your chair are 1.40, I believe that said, before my recording sped up beyond that again. And then back down here is the, again, it's going to be at elevation 0 right there. That little like kind of up and down little portion right there signifies the very bottom. It just built itself like that. Yeah, so again, 59 miles an hour because we're at elevation 0, and again, 3.19. It might have been 3.19 Gs before in the other one, but I thought I saw it 3.10. It might have been 3.19. Yeah, so this next, the next and last to final portion is going to be this top little section right here. Okay, so that thing that the cursor pointed at right there, that's going to be the middle of the top, middle of the hill, downwards. This hill keeps a constant 22.5 degrees sloping downwards constantly for the whole the blue part, so that's always constant. So it's moving at 36, and the hold on, I have to go back some. I missed it in my recording. I'll tell you what it was from my own recording. My recording says it was the G's were at 50. Okay, so yeah, 0.50 G's at that hill, and at the top of the hill, moving at roughly 35 miles an hour. Coming back down to the hill, at the very bottom, this is the last portion of the importance, I guess. And you're probably seeing a recording way beyond mine, but again, 59 miles an hour because we're at elevation 0, and vertical G-forces are at 3.37 Gs. Okay, I think the reason in the differentiation between these little up and down portions are simply because of how they're different slopes coming back flatwards at the bottom of every hill. I can't necessarily control that. That's just a thing the game does on its own. But yeah, so I guess that's it for all my projects, Scott. 3.7 vertical G's into your seat at the bottom of the last hill, moving at 59 miles an hour at elevation 0 feet. 59 miles an hour at elevation 0 feet for all of them, and then I believe it was 3.19 G's at the bottom after the loop, and then 3.10 at the bottom of the very first hill. At the top of the blue colored hill was 0.50 G's, and at the very top of the loop-de-loop was 1.49 G's. But yeah, I've covered everything, I believe, in the Schoology post. Yeah, so why don't you stick around to the end, Miss Brosco, because I'm actually going to, for fun, just freshen up this little roller coaster, freshen up the area, add some trees, add some scenery, make it look cool, you know, add some cool lights and torches. I'm gonna make it look interesting, and it's gonna be really cool to actually ride through finally when we get to that point. So yeah, come on, Miss Brosco, you gotta stick around. I'll fast forward pretty quickly to the point, so you can just ride along with us. All right, see ya. Alrighty, Miss Brosco, if you decide to stick around, welcome to my very tiny park. I am going to jump inside the body of this one person as soon as they enter the park, so I can give you a view of what it would look like from a person walking around the park. So this first little section is mostly just, the shops where everything is free. I see that man has a balloon where everything, completely free balloon. See that my friend here's got blue hair. Look, Statue of Liberty man. That was free. Milkshakes, those are free. Coffee, that's free. I bet those pants that one lady got was also free. Anyways, coming back through here, you can see the rides in the background, the Ferris wheel and stuff. I also added these trees and stuff as scenery little pieces right here. They've got some palm trees, got some evergreens. I also added TV screens. You know, Cedar Point, they have like TV screens so you can just watch waiting in like really long lines. Yeah, I did some of those. They actually have those in games. You can take short little videos from outside of the game into the game and put them on those little screens that people can just watch waiting in line. And what do you know, I chose for one of them a Cedar Point ad, because why not? It's Cedar Point, favorite place on this planet. You just can't argue with it. I actually have 3 TV screens, and this is the line for the roller coaster, by the way. I also have an ad over here that I just noticed at this point in the game when I was playing this, the audio is off with the visuals of this video game trailer. This is a video game that I don't have, but I would like to have because I just think the concept is really cool. I just reset the visuals there for ya. And then we're going to be moving on pretty soon, or maybe not. Okay, I guess we're not moving on. You can hear the music and the sounds from the last screen I have. It's actually the wrong video, and I realized that right about now when I start noticing in the background the sound is different. I put on the wrong video. I'm just gonna change that for us real quick so people don't get bored, and there you go. This is also a video game trailer for a video game that I don't have but would like to have. This game in particular is semi-old, if you count 5 years being old. For video games, that's decently old, but yeah, so look at all these people, and this whole line, Miss Brosco. Everybody here wants to ride the roller coaster. Just everybody wants to ride this roller coaster because it's the only roller coaster in the park. We're gonna be watching some people being shot because that's what this video game is about. My dad just overheard me. Hey Dad, I told you about the screens in the game. Don't worry about it, Dad. Anyways, dramatic reveal. I built a building around where you get on the roller coaster, Miss Brosco, and what do you know? I called it Physics Project, using futuristic text. Because it's physics, it's science, so you gotta make it look science-y. The sign isn't science-y, but the building is science-y. So why not try to make it science-y, okay? The roller coaster, I actually added some... Oh dear, we're inside a man's face. With the roller coaster you see in the background, again, no friction, so you don't slow down, well, except when you go up, but no friction, so you don't lose momentum, if that makes sense. That you do lose momentum if you think about it. You know what I mean, no friction. I added some trees and some dramatic lighting for you to enjoy, just to make it look interesting going through the roller coaster. And yeah, so I'm gonna stop talking now and fast forward to the part of the roller coaster where you get to ride it. And yeah, so I believe the first part I show you is like near where the sun is setting, so it's like kind of dramatic lighting. That's my favorite time to ride the roller coaster, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now and let you ride this roller coaster in peace. Goodbye. Alright, Miss Borosco, so that was the roller coaster from the first person's perspective in the very front. So I have a few more versions of this roller coaster, a few more views of this roller coaster if you want to stick around and watch all the different ways. There's a view from behind the train, there's a view from the second car of the train, there's a view from the front of the train where you can see people. So if you want to see like how the little guys in the game react to the roller coaster, or if you want to see the different times of day, why don't you stick around? Okay, now I got one last question for you, Miss Barasco. Again, taking into consideration that this roller coaster doesn't have friction, um, because it's not necessarily realistic, but since this video is going to be uploaded to my YouTube channel, I actually have uploaded a few other Planet Coaster videos on my YouTube channel. So from just what you saw in this video, Miss Brasco, or say from exploring my channel, would you ride this roller coaster if it were real? Would you ride any one of my roller coasters that I've uploaded on this channel if they were real? Please let me know in the comments, and I can't wait to hear from you, Miss Carrasco, on how you liked this project. Thank you, and yeah, goodbye. This is the end of my talking. The video's going to go on for just the different ways I put the camera on the roller coaster. But yeah, see you later.